Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is you're watching me. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, just as I'm having one here. Thank you so much for being a part of day 20. Is it day 28? Yeah, it should be day 28. So today will be day 29. Yeah, so the beautiful thing about light and darkness is that one thing is common about the people of darkness. They start to shriek. They start to shriek like demons, and it makes me laugh. Even when they're typing, you can feel them shrieking. And this time around, some people said, I'm from the kingdom of darkness. The funny thing is, one, I've asked just one singular question since I started all this YouTube thing. I've asked you guys to point to one thing that I've done that makes you think I'm from the kingdom of darkness. By their fruit, you shall know them, right? And I've asked these guys to point to one thing I've done or said. In fact, they should point to one thing I've lied about that would portray me in that light. They've not. Instead, they've just been raining curses and ranting. Like, I think the curse itself has reduced. Right now, it's just pash they are doing. And I don't know. Point to one thing I have lied about in this whole thing I've said. Point to one thing. Instead, it is me that is exposing your daddy left, right, and center. And all those things I've exposed them, you have nothing to say about it. You are just hoping and praying that people will look away from it. But it's the person that is exposing the evil one that is the evil. Okay, I'm getting it now. So yesterday, somebody then came and commented and said that what Pastor Olukoya meant to say is that it was anencephaly. Thank God I went to school. I was the first person that brought up anencephaly. Olukoya did not mention anencephaly. See, there's this person, Adams or whatever the hell that person's name is. I've noticed that he's always the one that's coming to do patch work for Olukoya. Now, he said that Olukoya meant anencephaly. Anencephaly is a congenital disorder. And if it was anencephaly, there is no way for you to have an MD in a hospital. It's not like Nigeria that you can just give out title for the fun of it. For you to have an MD in an hospital, a medical director, you will know it is a big hospital. So most likely to be a teaching hospital. You cannot tell me that an MD has never heard about anencephaly. It is impossible, because it's like you telling me or me telling you as a legal practitioner that I've never heard about emotion expertise. Anencephaly is important, especially when you're going to see a pediatrician, or you're seeing, I don't know, what's the name of those people that used to attend to pregnant women, a gynecologist. So you're telling me you're going to see a gynecologist, and a gynecologist have never seen anencephaly before. They've not taught them about congenital disorder, because Olukoya is saying that the doctor said they have never seen it before. Even the MD is saying they've never seen it before. Even there's this I've forgotten the medical term for it, when you have two twins in the womb and one twin would absorb the other twin, and they would have the traces of the other twin absorbed even in the body. If you watch House or you watch Grey Anatomy, you'd have heard those kind of cases. Even those ones self, they've heard it before. They've taught them in medical school. In our each turn of anencephaly, they are saying that what he meant is anencephaly. Why can't he say it was anencephaly? Why can't he say it? Why is it now that I exposed him that you people are now running skater to go and look for a way to find defense and say it is anencephaly? It is a lie. Because anencephaly is a congenital disorder, and there's no way a doctor will say, an MD will say they have never seen a congenital disorder before. But then anencephaly is not even the bone of the contention. The bone of the contention is the fact that point to the ambassador, the diplomat, that does not have a bulletproof armored limousine that will now buy your pastor a bulletproof armored limousine because of manna water. You know, the thing is, at this point, you guys are really beginning to look pathetic. Sincerely, you're really beginning to look pathetic. This same piece of shit then said that he knows that me, I'm unsuccessful, because if I'm successful, I will not be talking about Olukoya, and it is hunger that is making me do what I'm doing. Bitch. Nah. Okay, let me even pretend for a millisecond that I'm unsuccessful. I'm unsuccessful, yet I'm smart. I'm unsuccessful, yet it is me that has been puncturing holes into your daddy's streams of lies. I'm unsuccessful, and it is me that has been am I making great and guide you? If only you know. I don't want to. No, don't let me do that. That's pride. Yet I'm unsuccessful. But your daddy that has a PhD in molecular biology, that is successful, cannot even string up a true medical condition. Even if you want to concoct a real medical condition, go and watch Grey Anatomy and think of good medical conditions you can think of. A successful PhD holder that cannot even speak the truth, that is a disgrace to his degree, that one is successful. A successful PhD holder that came to the fold to make a mockery of God's name, that is a fraud. He's using the Bible to lie and steal money and deceive people. Between me and him, who is successful? Define success. Because if that is what you call success, I want no part of that success. And that's the problem. You know, we live in a society where we celebrate evil. But most importantly, in the body of Christ, you people came with darkness, and you are enforcing on people, on believers, to call evil good and call good evil. You are enforcing on believers to call evil good and call good evil. It's like you're sons of darkness and you're laying a claim to an inheritance that is not yours. Even Paul said it. Shall you continue to sin and expect grace to abound? Kamari in Paul Louis. Kamari. Because at this point, it's beginning to look funny. Because why are you people afraid of the light? Of all the things I've said since the day I started this thing, I think it's just like, this is my second month now. Right? Point to one thing I've lied about. You found none. So far. Point to one thing that me, Boluwatife, maybe I've lied about. None. Instead, it's me that is exposing your lies left, right, and center. In fact, at this point, when I look at, anytime I just sit down, I check my phone, and somebody just sends me something from your daddy, I just start to laugh. But then, you know, the funny thing for me when it comes to Olukoya and his Guardians of the Galaxy is that either you guys know and you want to pretend not to know, or you don't know, and I feel sorry for you. The truth is that if only you people have an understanding of what is going on right now, but my word is my bound. That's the problem. Ask your daddy, in the course of this thing going on, in the course of me coming out, how many people has Olukoya gone to beg? Ebi. I'm not because my word is my bound. Ask him, how many people has he gone to beg? How many people has Olukoya gone to beg to go and make videos? Ebi, low hair. If he has the balls to tell you, me, I have receipts. How many people has Olukoya gone to beg just to come and counter me? How many people? Ask him now. How many? Behind that facade that you see, how many places have we gone to? I'm here, I'm enjoying my life. I'm doing my life in peace. Let me finish. You see all those boxes? Let me finish sorting them. I will not get to that time. But you come here and you start, ask him now. And Olukoya, there's this popular proverb in my language. For those of us that don't speak Yoruba, they will say, tí ṣìgìdì bá fẹ́ tẹ́, á ní kán gbóhùn lọ sódò òun fẹ́ lọ wẹ̀. For non-Yoruba speakers, let me translate that. If shigidi want to tear, sorry, if shigidi, shigidi is a figurine made of clay. So there's a saying that if that figurine made of clay wants to make a mockery of itself, it will tell people to take him to the river, knowing fully well that it's made of clay, that he wants to have a shower. Olukoya, tí ṣìgìdì bá fẹ́ tẹ́, á ní kán gbóhùn lọ sódò òun fẹ́ lọ wẹ̀. My dear, Daniel Kolawole Olukoya, I am happy to tell you, gbogbo òkú tó sin, ẹsẹ̀ ti bọ́ta o. Let me translate that again. I was telling him that all the dead bodies he has buried, or he have buried, thinking his secret is safe, all the legs of those dead bodies have come outside. So, the way this case is going, there is nothing on this planet that will make me shut up. I'm telling you. Gbogbo òkú tó sin, ẹsẹ̀ ti bọ́ta. You should know what I'm saying by now. So, maybe people should ask you, how far with your court case? How is it going? How market? How far? Because I want you guys to be done with it so I can just, all these evidences that I'm collating, we are collating, everybody's. And that's the thing. The only way you can win is if you take people one by one. You see, the moment people come in unity to fight against evil, they would win. So, my dear, gbogbo òkú tó ti ṣe pamọ́ o, ẹsẹ̀ ti yọ bọ́ta. So let's just get this thing over with, so that the rest of the world can know the òkú tó ti sin. So that it will not just be limited to the court alone. It will not just be limited to just the courtroom. No! It will be here. Social media. You get? But make una speed up this the way they do, so that we can get it over with. Alright? You started the drum. Now you people don't want to dance. Why? You started beating the drum now. And that's the funny thing. You know, when I think about it, I'm not sure a lot of us will understand this thing, but I will take us back a couple of years ago. You people started cyberbullying people on social media. You started it. Egbagbe. Oh. For those that don't understand, it was the church that started having bloggers. They come out every day and they cyberbullied people. Every single day. You did it on Facebook now. They came out every day. They had emissaries. And all they were doing was cyberbullying people. Oh my Lord. I went through this lady. What's her name? Oh. Okoyemi Emmanuel. Go and check all her videos. It was undiluted cyberbullying. Where did you not take God's children to? They even went to G-Slover. Serious back-to-back cyberbullying. Non-stop. You bullied widows. You were bullying people. You were dragging people. You were You did it for a year and a half. Ah, Lord. They even went as far as going on pulpit, bringing out Bible, and were raining curses from the scriptures on people, decreeing death on people. All those times, you did not see the verse of the Bible where God said, the Lord shall fight for you and you shall hold your peace. You did not see it. All those times when you were doing it, and you were making a mockery of the sanctity of Christianity. You do not find people to tell you that this thing you are doing is wrong. Okay, Emmanuel, Abi is not you that sued up Ayotunde Richards. You cyberbullied. Even on WhatsApp, I've played you guys some of the voice note of where she was cursing people. Hey, and yet, it is the same you that have amended charge now. Show you know that you have amended your charge now. When the first one did not stick, now you've amended your charge to cyberbullying. My dear. You guys amended your charge to cyberbullying. It was as if I have never heard it before in my life. You amended your charge to cyberbullying when it was you that was cyberbullying people. But it was not only you that was doing it. And how came? Because, you people have your tentacles. Your church has done a lot of havoc in people's lives. And I took my pain aside. Oh, you're coming. When it comes to me and God knows how to get things done. But I saw the height of evil that you've wrought in people's lives. Keep in mind, I took my time to really understand what is going on. I looked at the facts. I did my investigation and I laughed. It's as if you guys are sitting on a gunpowder. And it's you that is playing with fire. And I said, okay. How will I be a lawyer and I will not be able to, I'm not cyberbullying anybody. Point to one person I have cyberbullied. None. I'm only shining lights on the things you've done to help people understand what is actually going on. All of a sudden, you guys are shrieking. You're crying foul. Over what? Even your lawyer, Abi, is it not MFM that Davison is working for? Even una lawyer Davison came outside. Is it not? Lawyer Davison. Yeah, he came outside. He too, he was doing live videos, giving people updates, lying in broad daylight. Lying in broad daylight, saying things that were not true, assassinating characters. That time, while all those things was happening in Facebook, you people did not tell them that the Lord said He will fight for them and they will hold their peace. Did you? No. Let me go back to my ice cream. Did your father not lie on multiple occasions? Did your father not sue people by proxy? All those charts are brought to you. What are they? Did your daddy not admit to sexually assaulting people? Is it because I'm still waiting for this court case? On the other GTs, I am not worried. No, we'll finish. So that you guys can come and see how funny this case is going. You know now. They will say that there's this proverb I'm looking for in Yoruba language. Oh, finish your case. And I know that's why you guys are like, because you know what will happen after this case. You know. Olukoya, you understand that the moment this case finishes, you are done for. You know. You know. And conveniently, you are pretending again to be the victim. My dear baby, to schedule. People have discovered your pattern. This is not your first time or second time. That's the problem. You repeat patterns. So for that reason, the funny thing was, there was a time that somebody messaged me privately, and they were using style to ask me. They wanted to know precisely the evidences that I have, and the one that Mrs. Funke had, and the one that the rest of the people that he sued had, so that they can actually know what they are dealing with. And I just smiled. I smiled because I'm like, not today. Not today. Not today. So you think I will give it to you? I will show you just because you are courteous to me. I'm sorry, it does not work that way. You called the shots, and now we're ready to fire back. Go to court now. No, that's the funny thing. You dragged those people to court. Did you not? So what are we talking about? So why are you hasty? Go and find those every day. Have them. Go and just you. Don't make me talk too much. You know what I'm talking about. Why are you guys all of a sudden then scared? Let's get this thing over with now. You will find all the evidence is there. And the one where you are spanking oh Lord Jesus. I'm sure by now you've seen a trajectory of where this case is going. Even when you guys played your Uno reverse card, God did not find you at the junction where you are not going anywhere. That is the thing. I don't have to come here and show to you guys that I'm good at my job. Give me a case and I'll bite it till the end of time. That's my job. My job is to make sure that in this case you are going nowhere. My job is to make sure that in this case, you are going nowhere. And I'm not really interested in the case because I've been paid. I'm interested in the case because I am also a victim of your nonsense. And I'm telling you, you're done. Like, for real, you're done. So, a lot of people might not know between what's in gear, but you know we are biting you. And the people that know we are biting you, know we are biting you. And you know when I bite hard. So, èmi kàn dé kí n ṣàlàyé fún yín pé sà òkú tẹ́ ẹ sìn gbogbo bí tẹ́ ẹ sìn sí o ẹsẹ̀ ẹ ti yọ síta o. Kódà, let me tell you what, when I was talking to someone about you yesterday, the person said ẹsẹ̀ ní kọ́kọ́ ló yọ, ẹsẹ̀ àtàpá ó ti yọ síta. So let's get this nonsense over with. Now you carry person go court. Now your church carry person go church court. No be so. Now carry person go court. Now still they drag leg. Why? Why? You know what you people did now, and you know what God did. It's only if truly you're on the side of truth, and that day will mean that God has ceased to be God. Because I don't understand how somebody will be this evil, and you still insist that you will claim a portion in God. Kamari ni Paul we. Kamari. It's impossible. I don't know, somebody is telling me that, do I know your age? You're older than me. And so, when I was young, there's this thing my grandmother used to tell me that if anybody tells me that they are older than me, I should tell them to go and wait for me in heaven. So go and wait for me in heaven since you are very, very old. Yeah, Femi Jimon's mother that knelt before you to beg for mercy, is she not older than you? And you told that woman, according to what that woman said in public, you told the woman that if her son can deny himself in public, you will let him go. Are you not evil? You told the woman that if the son can lie against himself in public, then you will let him go. Is she not older than you? All because they caught somebody, according to the Femi Jimo, they caught somebody at Abali's house. So, now, the question I want to ask everybody that people should me ask Olukoya today, Daniel Kola Olukoya, where is Samuel Oluwafenyimi? His former name is Ogunfenyimi, and Mr. Isaac Adegoke. Where are they? Those two men, you know them. Now, according to what I heard, your church said they caught them with CCTV camera stealing church offering, right? So explain to the whole world how it is possible that the judgment for catching somebody stealing money is death. How is it convenient that they were taken to the police station and they got shot? They were killed. How is that possible? Please, sir, explain to the whole world. Yeah. Also, sir, Daddy Gio, Daniel Kolawole Olukoya. Now, explain to the whole world how it is possible that Samuel Oluwafeyimi, who was formerly known as Ogunfeyimi, is it Ogunfeyimi or Feyimi or I don't know, but it's Ogunfeyimi or Oluwafeyimi. These two men were arrested by you. They were caught by your church for stealing money and they were arrested by the police. And conveniently, from what I heard, this Samuel Oluwafeyimi died. During that time, it was the injuries he sustained from the police station. They had to rush him to the hospital because they tortured him and everything, and they rushed him to the hospital and he died in the hospital during that time. Can you explain to the entire world what happened to those men, those your security guards? Can you explain to them, to the world, what happened to them? Explain to the world how after this man, Samuel Oluwafeyimi, died, his wife too died, and his daughter died under strange circumstances. That entire family ended within that time frame under strange circumstances. Because too many times people die around you, and conveniently it will leave no eyewitness. Pastor Olukoya, can you explain to me? No, help me make it sense. Help me make it make sense. Or explain to the whole world what happened to Samuel Oluwafeyimi. Because the same way you claim, or your church claimed, that this person stole money is the same way one Mr. Chinedu, who is now the youth pastor in your church, according to what I heard now, stole 80 million from the Deliverance Stadium donation. This person did not go to police station. According to what I heard, there was no police station for this person. Instead, this person he was promoted to become the youth pastor in Port Harcourt. But this your security guard, Samuel Oluwafeyimi, and his partner, Isaac Adegoke, somehow you caught them in your office. One of your cashier's office, one lady in your church, you caught them in your office, and next thing was they were arrested, they were tortured. The same way this person, Femi Jimo, narrated his ordeal. This one was just not alive to explain his ordeal, and he died at the hospital. Is it a coincidence? Can you please tell the whole world, if you know about the hospital he was taken to, and he died at the hospital? He was bleeding from all the orifices of his body. Help me make it make sense. And conveniently, the wife of the widow died, and the child too died. Explain to the whole world how that is possible, how that makes sense. So please, can you please, sir, explain the circumstances surrounding the death of this man, his wife, and his child to the whole world? Because all these events went into motion right after you claim you caught them. Your people claim they caught them. Your people, you know yourself now. You say you installed CCTV camera. There was no proceeding. There was no court case, and the police officers that tortured this person to death, conveniently there was nothing done to them, and 3 lives were lost due to it. Given the stream of deaths that follows you, I don't think this was a coincidence. And from what I heard that Isaac Adegoke has been on the road, and from what I heard, they said he finally came to beg you. My people, please don't be surprised when Isaac Adegoke comes to make a video. It's their modus operandi. You will make a video and admit to doing a lot of terrible things and apologize, and you will say this Samuel Oluwafeyimi too did some things, but I don't give a damn. What time did stealing equals to death? When did stealing in Christianity equals to death? Even in Islam, Even in Islam, while I was a Muslim, when they catch you stealing under Sharia law, they will cut your hand. If you steal again, they will cut your left hand. Abuse your right hand, they will cut first. They will not cut your left hand. So please help me explain to the world, Daniel Kola Olukoya, help me explain to the world on behalf of your church, what happened to Samuel Oluwafeyimi? What happened to his wife? And what happened to his daughter? How come they all died? What did they see? Because from what I know about you now, I don't believe that it was stealing that led to all these things. Please, my fellow sirs and mans and brothers and sisters that are watching me, if you have been following me from day one, you will understand what I'm talking about. This Samuel Oluwafeyimi, also known as Ogunfeyimi, what happened to his family? Because it is, okay, let me put it this way. 1 death is an accident. 2 death is a coincidence. 3 death is becoming an occurrence. So how come the husband died? Now, there was no record of sickness in the family before these things happened. They took the man to the police station. From police station, hospital, die. All they heard was, he died. Conveniently, around that time frame, just right after the wife died, and the child died. Please, let me ask Olukoya, how does this make sense? Did the police that tortured this man that led to his death, were they arrested? No. 2, was there autopsy? What was the cause of death? None. The wife that died, was there an investigation? No. The child that died, was there an investigation? No. Everything was swept under the rug. Is it a coincidence that right after the husband died, everybody is always related to MFM and they then pay me? Help us ask Olukoya, what happened? And can we please see the CCTV footage of where that man stole? Because at this point, I don't believe that man stole Shimbai. Let me ask Daddy G home, the Elijah of our time, can he please provide the CCTV footage of where that man stole the said money? And can he please provide the details, the statement they went to write at the police station, and the officers that tortured that man, because it is no longer funny. The man is dead, his wife is dead. I want you people to start asking questions. See, when I said that this thing has been happening since, it's not today. See all these cases you are seeing now, Femi, Jimo, Bawura, all these people, it is not today, Pakele. It is not today. Olukoya and his people have been in the business of hiding truth since. This Samuel Oluwafeyimi, is he not a human being? Is he not a Christian? Did God not die? Did Jesus Christ not die for this person? Why is it okay for this miscreant to keep hurting God's people? And it's being swept under the rug. From stealing, police arrest you, they torture you, next thing the person is dead. Next thing the wife is dead. And conveniently, the daughter too died. So let me ask Olukoya, what really transpired? Abi, if the daughter and the wife died, will Olukoya not have known? At least if they are working for MFM, they are entitled to cooperative and all those things. So they would have known that something happened. So help us ask Daddy Jiho, what happened to Samuel Oluwafeyimi? At least at Igbonsin, they said that Isaac Adegoke came to beg you. From what I heard. Now I'm not too sure. That's why I'm not really pushing this one. But this one that I know that this person is dead. Samuel Oluwafeyimi, where is he? What happened to him? What happened to him? What happened to his wife? What happened to his child? Are they not human beings? For those people that know the story I'm talking about, because this story, I will dig it till the end. I will find their family members. I will locate everybody I can locate until we know what happened to these people. Where is Mr. Samuel Oluwafeyimi and Isaac Adegoke Olukoya? Where are they? When did death become the punishment for stealing offering? When? People need to ask you, when did death become punishment for stealing people's offering? When? And that's the problem. Because all these deaths are always unknown, hidden, swept under the rug. For that reason, a lot of people don't know who you are. And I like the way you pretend to be a saint. Deep down, you're not. We both know you're not. If not, why are you spraying money? These days, the way you're giving people money is making me laugh. You are loading people with money because you just don't want them to talk, and you're going around doing everything you can just to make me shut up. Do you think it's going to work? If I stop breathing, maybe then I'll stop talking. But as long as God has given me breath, I will not close my mouth. Because this madness has gone far too long. If it is telling lies alone that you do, maybe somebody will say, okay, fine, don't mind him, Jare, is Ogbongi Oniro, and people will not pay attention to you. But you did not stop at that. Every single symptom of evil, every single pattern of evil, you have exhibited it. Every single works of darkness, Olukoya, you have done it. Every single modus operandi of evil that the scriptures have made reference to, Olukoya, you have done it. And when I look at you, you are the inventors of new evil. You just enjoy creating chaos. Even in the scriptures. I just don't want to attend to that today. You see the rubbish you people spoke about yesterday that you posted about the Prince of Persia. You people just enjoy creating evil because that's the only way your ministry can thrive. If you don't create evil, if you don't create problem out of nothing, you won't sell. What will you ask them to pray about if you don't create the evil? There has to be a problem first. You know, if you were to be a organizer, it's people like you that will go and throw stones, excess stones, nails, or pins on the main road. Because that's the only way you will sell. That if you were to be a organizer, that is what you'll be doing. And it's funny that everybody keeps telling me, oh, don't talk about the man of God. So now let's talk about it then. Olukoya, who ordained you? Daniel Kola Ole Olukoya, who ordained you as a man of God? Shall we go into your history? As you can see, I took my time. But before that, I've asked you those two questions, Abby. People need to ask you this question. Pastor Oladapo, can you explain to the world the circumstances that surrounded his death? And also, explain to the world how his house got burnt. Can you do that? Can you explain to the world the circumstances that surrounded Pastor Oladapo's death? And how Pastor Oladapo's house got burnt? Because from what I heard, his house got burnt in the middle of the night. Nobody called you or informed you. And you were the first person that got there to, to greet them for their, their burnt house. Now, human beings, I want to, this is why I say human beings. You, my viewers, say you are human beings, you are not animals, right? So, so you can be able to explain this thing for me. Peradventure me, I don't know. Somebody's house got burnt in the middle of the night. While they are trying to pour water and everything, they've not even had time to call or reach out to anybody. And somehow, Olukoya came there to greet them for their house that burnt. How did you know their house got burnt? Who told you? So can you please, because I mean I'm curious, very, very curious. Can you explain how that happened? Yeni Eji. Can you also explain, sir, please? Why? Because I checked your, you posted your wedding pictures and I checked everything. I only found like 2. Let me show us the wedding pictures that he presented to the whole world as his wedding pictures. And for real, they are actually his wedding pictures. But there are some funny questions surrounding those pictures. Let me show us. Now, in that picture, you can see the beautiful bride and the groom. Now, that wedding took place in England. Can you explain to the world, or better yet, show us your parents in that wedding picture, your mom and your dad? And can you also ask your beautiful darling Shade Olukoya to show us her parents in that wedding picture? Now, from what I heard, I think your wife should be around 21, 22. When I went back and did the calculation, your wife should be around 21, 22 years when you guys got married. I think so. So, where are your parents when you guys got married? None. Okay. Conveniently, when you look at that picture, the tallest man at the back, I would point to the person right now, you will see. The tallest man in that house, sorry, in that house, I said in the house, sorry. I saw a notification that said house. The tallest man in that picture is Otumba Gaddafi. Sure, you know. For those of us that don't know, you know that public toilet, that mobile toilet, DMT, Isaac Durojaye. That's his name. Oh, Lord. Let me check, because I've seen Isaac now. Before I start calling another person Isaac. Hold on. I'm correct. Isaac Durojaye. Isaac Durojaye is the one in that picture. The same person that housed your wife when you sent her to England. Now, whatever happened during that time is none of my business. So I want to ask you, how come when that man died, knowing fully well that the man is married, although the man divorced, he had a wife, right? He had children. Then he married again. I think the wife died again from what I heard. But he had children. How come conveniently when the man died, his properties were willed to you guys? I don't understand. Can you please explain to the world how that makes sense? How? That when this, you know, the mobile toilet, DMT, if I'm lying, check Google. They call him Otumba Gaddafi. How come when the man died, he did not will his properties to his children? He willed it to you. How? Can you please explain to the world how that is possible? That somebody would die. Somebody as rich as that would die, and they will will their properties to you. I don't know. I think they will it to you or to your church. But, you know, at this point, when somebody wills something to MFM, they've given it to you indirectly. Most of the time, I like the way you do it. Because your church is incorporated, right? So you separate yourself from it in public. But we both know how this thing works. You call the shots. So, how come? Because this lady, the wife now, attends Brother Bang Banyo's church. The same Bang Banyo that you guys attended CAC together. And that's the thing. When you guys were doing your biography, for those of us that remember the biography that they did about the Elijah of our time, you guys conveniently skipped some parts. And that was what made me laugh. They don't do it like this. You say it is a biography. So if it is a biography, there's a need to say everything the way it is. Don't skip. So, do you want to retell your biography again? Or do you want me to tell the world your actual biography? Because I have your biography here. You know, for those of us that don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you the biography that was in circulation. Now, I have no way to prove that it was Olukoya that actually put this biography outside. But you know one thing now, when people like this want to work, they will make sure that there is no way you can link it to them being the one releasing the biography, but conveniently they will start to share it on their social media platforms or the platform of their agents for MFM, right? So that it gets across to you. But then when you pick it up, they can say, no, it's not us. My dear, that nonsense does not work with me. If it's on the platform of your agent, then you know about it. Because according to what I checked, when God wanted to catch you people and you went to go and report my YouTube account, and YouTube was going to send me the details, your Fola told YouTube that he is the official agent of MF and Daniel Olukoya. Actually, if you people now start talking about other ministers, so it does not count anymore. It is official. That's your official page. Those are the official platforms you use to propagate your work. So if you cannot come to there and deny, you cannot come to there and deny for like me. Although not if Allah knows what is best for him, he will be saving up evidences, because the day that you want to treat is, you know what you do now. You will have something to fall back on, but then that's none of my headache today. Let me show you the biography of our daddy that they were publishing.
This is the true story of Dr. Daniel Kolawole Olukoya, the man God used to wage war on the invisible forces tormenting millions, the founder of Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministries, a scientist by training, a spiritual general by calling, a man who turned dreams into battlegrounds and silence into fire. Daniel Kolawole Olukoya was born on July 15, 1957, in Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria. His parents were not rich, but they were rich in faith. His father was a police officer. His mother, a humble and deeply prayerful woman, taught him the fear of God from childhood. Daniel was quiet, deeply focused, and had a love for reading anything he could find. Books, newspapers, journals, and especially the Bible. From early on, Daniel noticed that many people around him were suffering from strange problems. Spiritual attacks, sickness without cure, dreams that made people afraid to sleep. He saw many people go from church to church with no real change. He didn't understand it fully then, but he would later say that God was showing him the spiritual darkness over the land. As he grew up, his intelligence became obvious to everyone. He graduated from the University of Lagos with a first-class degree in microbiology, the first student ever to do so in that department. He was brilliant. This opened the door to study abroad. He went to the University of Reading in the United Kingdom and earned a PhD in molecular genetics. To the academic world, he was destined to be a world-class scientist. But something was shifting in his spirit. While abroad, he saw that many churches were cold, formal, and powerless. He remembered home, where people suffered spiritual oppression that science could not explain. He started praying more. Then the dreams began. In these dreams, he saw people in chains. He saw spiritual battles. He saw families under attack. Then came the voice, clear and firm. Raise an army. Teach my people to pray. Deliver them from captivity. It was not something he wanted. He never planned to become a pastor. But the burden was heavy. He obeyed. In 1989, he started a small prayer group in his sitting room at 13 Olasimbo Street. Shomolu, Lagos. Just 24 people showed up. There were no drums, no music, no microphones. Just raw, passionate prayer. Violent prayer. Targeted prayer. The kind of prayer that calls down fire from heaven. Something unusual happened. People began getting delivered. Witchcraft attacks stopped. Long-time sicknesses disappeared. Word spread. More people came. The sitting room was no longer enough. They moved to a bigger space. Then another. And another? In 1994, Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministries was officially born. The church was different. It wasn't focused on prosperity. It wasn't about feeling good. It was about spiritual warfare, breaking curses, casting out demons, restoring destinies. It became a place where people learned to fight in the spirit. Dr. Olukoya taught that not all problems are physical. Many are spiritual. He taught people to fast, to pray at midnight, to cancel evil dreams, to break ancestral covenants. People were set free. Marriages were restored. Students passed exams they once failed. Families saw light for the first time in years. He preached messages like the mystery of deliverance, dealing with the serpent in the dream. Witchcraft must die, and your enemies shall scatter. His voice was calm but carried power. He was not a shouting preacher, but every word hit with fire. Critics arose. Some said the prayers were too violent. Others mocked the style, but he never responded. He said, if you are not controversial, then you are not confronting evil. He stayed silent, focused, determined. Soon Soon the movement spread, first across Lagos, then Nigeria, then across the world. Branches were opened in the US, the UK, Canada, South Africa, Germany, and over 40 other countries. Each branch carried the same fire, the same focus, prayer, holiness, power. In Lagos, a massive headquarters was built, a 100,000-seater prayer city, the largest church facility in the world at that time. Every month, people from around the world gathered there. Testimonies flowed, the blind saw, the lame walked. Families were delivered from generations of bondage. Dr. Olukoya remained the same, quiet, focused, unshaken. He continued fasting, praying, writing books. He wrote over 500 books, many translated into several languages. He created the Prayer Rain and Prayer Passport, books used by millions around the globe. He introduced the annual 70 Days Fasting and Prayer program, a spiritual marathon that became a lifeline for many. He encouraged midnight prayers, family altars, and holiness as a lifestyle. He did not chase fame. He avoided the media. He refused to live like a celebrity, yet his impact was global. His ministry helped believers understand their authority in Christ. He taught that salvation without power was incomplete, that every believer must become a spiritual soldier. Today, millions have been transformed through the MFM movement. Former cultists became pastors. Families once torn apart by witchcraft now live in peace. People who once feared going to bed now sleep like babies. The fire is still burning. Dr. Daniel Olukoya is not a man who preaches what he has not lived. He has faced battles most people will never know, but he stands, unshaken, because the God that answers by fire still answers today. He is not known for drama. He is not known for noise, but he is known for truth, for prayer, for power, for revival. This is more than a biography. It is a call, a reminder that one man, fully surrendered to God, can change millions of lives. As long as evil exists, the fire must burn. As long as people suffer in silence, the fire must burn. As long as there are chains to break, the fire must burn. This is the fire on the mountain, and it still burns today.
So when you look at that biography, that story, it touches your heart because they have the perfect storyline. It's touching. And all of a sudden, the way things are going these days, I'm saying that their media team is really working hard to do this rebranding. And that's what makes me really, really laugh about all this your tales by moonlight. Because for someone like you that I know, you the ordinary bag you gave to people, you people recorded it, you made it public on TV. Ordinary food, you people went to go and give police in USA. Ordinary food, you gave police in USA, yeah. You people went to go and publicize it. Ordinary discounted food, you did for people. Kato for you. NTA have carried it down. Olukoya is doing wonders. And conveniently now, all the people that are participants of your Tales by Moonlight that only you will know, conveniently nobody knows those people. you the same you we now raise the dead. And the whole world will not know. The same you will now get a limousine from a diplomat when the miracle baby did not have head, and you would not have made it public. You that even if na mess you mess like this, you're already looking for people to help you publicize it. Even ordinary court case that you did, you've made sure that all the tabloids are on it. You will now do miracles. Nobody will hear. Even the one that your Yemi or Yomi or whatever, that by only lipstick, only wet lips. You people say you cured sickle cell. Abi, was that not what you people advertising? I was just laughing. I was like, sheting back baba imuni, sitting mo best ni drag mo bitaga generator. She was like mo buru. Because it is convenient that you could heal sickle cell. But then there's a girl in your church that actually saw you one-on-one, came for healing. She died of epilepsy. In your church. She came to see you. You prayed for her. I think you did from what I heard. She even went for corridor deliverance. She died of epilepsy. Sure, you know. That one, na special case, because I want to ask you questions about that girl. When the epilepsy session came, instead of you people to carry that girl to hospital, you don't carry the girl to hospital. You people poured manna water on her lungs and everything. She was DOA. When they took her to the hospital, she was DOA. For those of us that understand, on arrival. And conveniently now you're telling people that your manna water is healing cancer, is healing sickle cell. How many sickle cell people in your church? How many of them has gotten healing? So you heal one. Let me just pretend as if you are healing now. Let's just pretend. So you heal 1 in 1,000, and that's something to celebrate. So, excuse me, if that's the case, explain all those deaths. But that's not even what I'm getting into. Let's get back to the biography. Can you please, Olukoya, explain to the whole world the circumstances that surrounded Niyi's death? Niyi Ajayi. Because Mrs. Funke talked about it, but then some things were not clicking in my head. Can you please admit to the whole world that Niyi Ajayi died in your house? Under your care. Can you admit to the whole world that you taught the whole church about Iwosan Lobe, and then somebody came to your house and the person fell ill, and you did not carry the person to the hospital, and at the end of the day the person died? The person spent days in your house. So can you please, sir, because the cases of murder that surrounds you is becoming one too many, and because we have a very, very funny legal system, and you know how you have the police in your pocket now. Is it a coincidence that you're always giving them cars? And your favorite police station is Sabo police station, from what I heard. Most of the cases that these people have, there's awful time that it's always Sabo police station that starts it. So is it a coincidence? So sir, can you explain to the world what happened to Niyi Ajayi? I want to know, because I'm confused at this point. Did Niyi Ajayi? I'm not accusing you. Did I say you kill somebody? Of course not. Why shall I say you kill somebody? Did you kill somebody? No. But why is it that there are always people dying around you? Can you please explain? So there's 2 people now. They accuse them of stealing short free under CCTV. Samuel Oluwafemi and Azikadegoke. They carried them to police station. Last time when I heard that it was Sabo police station. Now I want to confirm if it was that Sabo police station that I heard that actually took this case up. And conveniently they died. Where the person is. So can you please explain to me the reason why people are dying around you? I don't understand. I don't. And that's the problem, because people don't know that all these things are going on around you. They think now you know that we've exhausted sorry Jare, Tope Robert's death. You know we've talked about that one. Mara water did not Mara water that person. But Mara water can heal fibroid. No be the testimony when I shared John some days ago with that. That one too. I like the way you package the medical condition. I was really, really impressed. I was like, wow, these people are finally doing their own work. But even that one too, there were some loopholes. But me, I just don't want to talk about that one today, because me, I don't like to catch people like this. I like to catch people like this. So we'll get back to that later. Sir, can you please explain to the whole world what happened to Niyi Ajayi? At least for what is what, Niyi Ajayi was in your house, so they can call you a reliable eyewitness. So sir, Erakun, what happened to Niyi Ajayi? And if you cannot do that because you know that a lot of things will make people ask you questions, can you for once in your life speak the truth and tell them the reason why you left CAC? Can you do that much? Because you know, when they were doing that your story I was like, hey, I beg you long the Elijah of our time. I was really happy for you. For real now. I was really, really, really happy for you. And for that reason, I drew up a PDF folder for your ministerial life. Let me open the folder and I'll get back to you. Just hold on. Let's start with your mom. Have you ever told your church that the reason why you were living in that cubicle and you're using kettle to cook was because your mom and your dad were not living together? They were not together. They were separated. Did you ever tell the church that you were a product of a broken home? And that your father was a police officer? And that place that you claim you used to use kettle to cook was in fact at Adekunle at Yaba. The same one that has now become, that you bought and turned into MFM bookshop. Did you say that in your biography? No. Okay. Okay. Did you tell them, excuse me, Gary, I took a lot of ice cream last night. Did you tell them that the place that they gave you to stay was so uncomfortable that you would always follow Mr. Felix Obiyomi for CAC retreat? It was your escape route, and that was the reason why you were so brilliant, because you had nothing to do. There was no mom in your life. You were just, always and you gave them a hint. Remember that story the Olukoya said about entering a vehicle, that the transporter, they are going to Port Harcourt or something, that the driver will put stone on the accelerator. People should ask you why you were traveling alone at that age. Why were you traveling alone at that age, unless something actually happened? Because I don't know, at that age you should be traveling with your parents. So why were you traveling alone? But I'm not getting there today. So, sir, your supposed kitchenette you were living, did you tell them the reason why you were living there? Because if you want to tell somebody's biography, I think it's important you tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. You know, when you go to court and they'll put your hand on the Bible and they'll say, I swear to this noble honorable court to say the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I think the truth is important if it's going to be a biography. If I'm going to write my biography now, I need to say some vital truths there. Now, yeah. Did you also tell the whole church that your younger sister's first husband, daughter, that your younger sister's first husband was a drug addict? Did you tell them that? Okay, no. You didn't tell them that. You see all these ones, that's why I'm waiting for your lawsuit though, because this case goes sweet. It was a drug addict at Simpson Street. Did you tell them that? No, you didn't tell them that. Now, did you tell them that your cousin is called Ajoke? Unless you want to go and do name change. And that you bought this Ajoke Avenza car recently. Did you tell them that? No. Okay. Like I said, I have a PDF file for you. So, I found you to be an interesting person, actually. Because you are the general overseer of MFM now. You created MFM. So, there was a need to really, really understand who you are. Did you also tell them that you always follow this Mr. Felix Obiyemi for the CSC group prayer meeting called Egbe Imole Aye? That was the name of the movement. You skipped that part. Now, you slept beside the kitchen of a house where your father doubles as a security officer at that same house while he was the police officer, right? Did you tell them that? No, you didn't. Okay, good. So, did you tell them that your father was living at Adekunle police station barracks initially, and then your father got a private job at Odushote bookshop house? The same bookshop, the same place you've turned to a bookshop house now, that is called Odushote bookshop house, that your father was a security guard there. And that was the reason why you were living in that house, and it was the reason why you're using kettle to cook. Okay. So, did you tell them that this same bookshop now, the same house you bought and turned into a bookshop, is located at Albert Macaulay on Makoko Junction beside the Zenith Bank. So for those of us that want to go and verify what I'm saying, did you tell them that? I don't think so. All right. Did you tell them that you came back from England after your education in 1984 to 1985 and you joined CAC or Lotto? Did you tell them that? No. Okay. Did you tell them that you were in a choir before you left CAC? No. Okay. Okay. Did you tell them that you were a lone ranger and you poured all your energy into your studies? Actually, I'm going to give you that. You actually poured your energy into your studies and you were very, very good at what you do. Okay. Did you tell them that you were exceptionally brilliant? Yes, you did that one. You used to tell, brother, you were so good at telling people you were brilliant that you're always reading for. You're always reading from 3 a.m. to Olukoya Pavio. Okay. Oh, dear lady, me pa. Now, did you tell them that you were the choir master at CAC or Lotto at Ebute Meta Onibo? Did you tell them that? I don't think so. Now, did you tell them that you revolted and joined them in Makoko, where some elders pioneered to open a church? Did you tell them that? I don't think so. And the same church they opened was at 11 Sariyu Street, New Makoko. And they used a small shop to start the church. Did you ever tell the church that when they were doing your biography? No, you didn't. Okay, good. Now, did you tell them that the elders of that church, that Sariyu Street church, was one, Pa Akimboro Zacchaeus, 2, Eda Ileramo, 3, the current, the angel of the Lord that is cutting penis, his father was also part of the elders then. Then he was known as Elder Awogbayila. Oh, his name then changed. He married 2 wives. The same current AGO, Pastor Kehinde Adegbolahon abi Agbolahon then. Did you tell them that? No, but Pastor Kehinde, the penis cutter, the angel of the Lord and the penis cutter. Your daddy too was part of the elders. Yeah. Pastor Kehinde, did you tell them that your stepsister is Niyola Johnson, the same who is also now a chorus star at MFM? Did you people talk about your family trees? No. Okay, good. Now, did you tell them that you were part of a fellowship in England and it was the same fellowship that now joined you and your wife together? Did you tell them that? No. Okay. We are getting somewhere. Okay. Point to one spiritual father. Because now, publicly, Olukoya, you have denied Ayodele Babalola. Unless you want us to bring back that chat. And I'm still going to talk on that one. I've just, there's just a lot to address, actually. When it comes to you, there's a lot to unpack. So, point to one spiritual father. That was your mentor or your mentee. Okay. Oh, so explain to the world the reason why you were never ordained at CAC. Explain. Can you do that? No, you can't. Okay. Okay, so can you please explain to the world the reason why you visited a church, a CAC church in Ondo recently, and you gave them an expensive organ? Was that the church you were attending? Was that where you were ordained? No. Okay. Now, can you please explain to the world, because if you look at that biography, it was beautiful, right? So explain to the world the reason why you left CAC. Can you do that? If you don't do that, I'll have to do it for you. Don't worry. Let me just do it for you. So that, because if I say you should do it now, you will tell lies again. So let me do it first. Now, brother Kolawole Olukoya. That's what they call you that time. Brother Daniel. Brother Daniel. Abajo. I used to wonder why you always love the Prince of Persia too much. Yeah, it was the story of Daniel. We are getting to that. You know you lied too. but we are getting to that one. So, sir, you served alongside Mr. or Pastor Samson Bangbanyo, the same who is now the GO of New Testament Assembly. For those of us that know that road, do know New Testament Assembly, their GO Samson Bangbanyo, he and Olukoya, they served in CAC. Now, you got a flat from the federal government as a staff of the National Institute of Medical Research, Yaba, when you go back. Now, you got a 3-bedroom flat and a BBQ, a boys' cottage. I said BBQ. Now, Brother Samson Bangbanyo, as at that time it was called, came from Ibadan, but was more spiritually gifted than you. And you knew it. Everybody preferred him to you, and you knew it. Now, this Brother Samson Bangbanyo, because there's a need to expand on some things. His first church was in Yaba off Adewale Street in Alagbomeji. Now, their current headquarters, the New Testament Assembly, is at Lagos Ibadan Expressway. It's not too far from Redeem. Okay. Now, you and Samson Bangbanyo were ministering together at Makoko. Yes or no? On Sariyu Street. Now, Beson Adebambo joined you guys, who is now an AGO in your MFM. Pastor Soji joined you guys. Niya Ajayi, the same one that now died after your preaching that came to us that died in your house. Hey, Oluwashanu. That one too was with you guys. The church bought a plot of land and they moved from their shop size to their new plot of land. Now, Samson Bangbanyo. Okay. Samson Bangbanyo was the pastor and you, Olukoya, was just part of the team, more like a second hand. I'm sure you know what I was talking about. Let me address something on my phone quick. Something on my phone. Welcome back. So now we'll do a bit of storytelling because we're going to go back in time and we'll address some things, some important things about Olukoya's past. Because, you know, when I was trying to understand who this man is, there was a need for me to go back in past. And understanding who he is in the past gave answers to a lot of things that we're seeing happening now. If you really understand who Olukoya is in the past, you will know why the things you're seeing now happens. And you'll be able to understand some things I say. Sometimes when I make some jabs at him and I say some things, to you it will look like an insult. But unless you know where I'm coming from, you will not understand that I am talking to him. Now, let's go. Now, you see, this church, this prayer movement gained momentum. They were both old and young. They were attending it. Then he moved to England. Now, all these things you cannot lie unless you want to tell the British company, the British embassy to delete your entry and exit information because it is there. Now you went back to England and you also moved your wife, your beautiful Sade, to England. Before that time, you were a biology teacher while you were serving in Moshi. And I searched everywhere. I asked a lot of people that knew you in the past if they ever had a wedding invitation for your wedding. They said they got none. So I don't know. Your marriage looks to me like you guys eloped. Now I'm not sure, and I don't want to give you a bad name, but based on my own opinion, it looks as if you guys eloped to me. Because I did not see any wedding invitation. I searched everywhere. I called everybody. I reached out to people. I traveled. I asked questions. Nobody could point to one wedding invitation. Unless you want to print one out now. But then, if it was that you guys eloped, people do it now. So I don't know. It's not a bad thing. But then, I'm just saying, I couldn't find any wedding invitation. So it made me think probably you guys eloped. But then I stand to be corrected. You can let me know if you guys did not elope. You know, you guys did a wedding invitation, you invited people or something. But one thing that struck me as odd was that I didn't see any of your wedding pictures outside of those ones that you shared. And also I didn't see your traditional wedding. There was no reference. I didn't see a traditional wedding picture, because for someone like you that loves to, you know, show off and do stuff like that, I think if you actually had a traditional wedding picture, you'd have released it, and I found none. And is it a coincidence that there is no wedding picture of yours that had your family in it, your mom, your dad, anybody? I couldn't find your parents, so it kind of looked odd to me. Anyway, I'm just saying. So you sent your wife to go be with Otumba Gaddafi, whose full name is Isaac Duro Jaye, you know, the same one who is the owner of DMT Toilets. Now, this person died at age 47, and conveniently, like I said, his properties were with you guys. Okay. And it's funny for me that Mr. Isaac separated from his wife when he actually married in MFM. And yet, he separated from his wife. They got married in MFM, but he separated from his wife. It's a lot. And he willed all his properties to MFM. It kind of look funny to me, if you ask me. And if you're watching me too, is it not funny? Because now, let me even take a pause. I'm going to show us the reason why this thing looks funny to me, that the person willed his properties to MFM. Because I have already heard a story of a lady that was clamoring that her father died and the house that the father left was given to Olukoya, according to the lady. And she called the mom. I'll play us the voice recording now, where she called her mom to complain about that thing, and the mother just sounded cold. But then I'll play us the audio, I'll play us everything. I don't want to talk about that lady today. I'll talk about the lady tomorrow. But I want us to listen and watch the video and the audio and everything and ask ourselves, is that normal? Seriously, let's just ask, is it normal? Let us just watch it and ask, is that normal?
Hello, ẹ káàsán mọ́.
Ẹ káàsán, ọ̀rọ̀ olúwa ń kọ́.
Sọ̀rọ̀ àlàáfíà mà.
Ọ̀lẹ́.
Yes, màá kó òjò mà.
Òjò.
Òjò ń rọ̀ níbí báyìí.
Níbo?
Òjò ń rọ̀ lébùté mẹ́ta.
Ó rọ̀ gan.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni màbá ó ti dáńsìn.
Oòrùn ló ń ràn lóníṣẹ́ náà.
Ó ń rọ̀, òjò ń rọ̀.
Ó rọ̀ gan.
Ẹ̀bọ̀ ó ti dáńsìn bọ̀ ilẹ̀ tutù. Òjò wà ní gbogbo lẹ́lẹ̀.
Kò sójò lóníṣẹ́ o.
Ẹ̀lẹ́ mà.
Ìlẹ́ á sì wà lára.
Àmì mà.
Ọ̀rẹ́ ńkọ́?
Ọ̀rẹ́ wà.
Okay.
Mo ní kí n kàn tún rán yín létí nǹkan tí mo bá yín sọ ni o.
Ọlọ́run á sí ẹ̀ ní ìgbàgbé ẹ̀.
Because
Mi ò sí nílé.
ibi tí mo wà yìí ń sìn, mo tún ti kú. Mo ní ibi tí mo wà yìí ń sìn, mo tún ti kúrò ńbẹ̀. Mi ò níbi. Mo sọ fún yín pé mò ń scott lọ́dún èèyàn ni, kò sí kankan tí mo lè ṣe. Mi ò níbi kankan tí mo lè wà.
Láti bí oṣù kan ni jíò ti sí ń lé. Gan ló fà á.
Gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ jíò yìí mo fẹ́ ka end ẹ̀ because mi ò láìkí gbogbo ẹ̀ bó ṣe ń lọ yìí. Kò mú ìdùnnú bá mi. Kò mú ìdùnnú bá mi rárá.
Kí ló fẹ́ ká ṣe?
Báwo ni mi ò láìkẹ̀, at least mi ò sọ pé mo fẹ́ gbélé lọ sọ́run. At least ẹ fún wa ní ibì kan tí mo lè gbé. Because eléyìí sì tí n bá tún gbalé tó wọlé bá tún jù àti máa dúró de Olúkọ̀yà. Gbogbo ẹrù mi ló ti sọnù. Olúkọ̀yà wà níbi tó wà, wọ́n ń ṣe ti wọn ń bẹ̀. Àwọn èèyàn wọn náà kó sí ilé dádì wa. Ìkan náà àwọn girlfriend wọn gan ń gbé bẹ̀. Kò dá, kò bójú mu, kò dá.
Pé ṣé nǹkan tí mò ń ṣe ò dáa?
Nǹkan tó Olúkọ̀yà ń ṣe fún wa ò dá.
Kí ló Olúkọ̀yà ṣe fún yín tí ò dáa?
At least mo ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ so many times. Ẹ̀yin náà mo ti ṣàlàyé fún yín.
Kí ló bá wọn sọ? Mi ò mọ nǹkan tó bá wọn sọ.
Kò dá ká máa yálé gbé. Kò dá ká máa yálé.
Ẹ̀yin mélòó?
At least ẹ̀yin gan kò dá ká máa yálé gbé kí n tẹ̀ fi tọ̀dọ̀ yín lẹ̀. At least ẹ níbi tẹ̀ wá. Bọ̀ èmi.
Nǹkan tó wù mí lè ní lè ṣe.
Kò dá. èmi ń sìn
mo kàn ń mi bẹ́ẹ̀mi ṣe bí mo ṣe fẹ́ ni mo ṣe wà.
èmi bẹ́ẹ̀mi ṣe wà ń sìn akọ̀ọ́yálégbé kiri ni kò dáa.
Whose fault is it? Is it my fault or Olukoya's fault?
It's Olukoya's fault. If Olukoya did not put his own family people there, at least me, I will have somewhere to stay. At least I know that it's my father's property. At least I know
your
that
your father's property is my property.
It's our property, not only your own. Koda, because Olukoya Osinle, Olukoya inú ilé pákó ni èmi àtọ̀rẹ́ ń sùn tán da sọ́dọ̀sùn sílẹ̀ kó dá.
Is that fault Olukoya ni?
Tí Olukoya ò bá fún àwọn staff ẹ̀ síbẹ̀, at least I will have access to the place.
Èmi ni mo gbé ilé síbẹ̀, kì í ṣe Olukoya.
Àtúntò yẹn sì ẹni Olukoya Osinle, Olukoya mo ti. I'm not happy and I pray that something bad will not happen. I'm not happy. Mo ti rò pé gbogbo nǹkan yìí máa ti solve before end of Christmas. Nísìn, mi ò mọ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ máa sọ fún ọrẹ. I don't know. Ká ní pé mo sọ pé a máa tó gbalẹ̀, mo tún pè yín ṣe Olukoya Osinle.
Olukoya ló fẹ́ gbalé fún yín ni.
Àṣebọ́sẹ̀ pé Olukoya ló máa sanwó ilé fún yín. Tí Olukoya ò bá fún àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀ síbẹ̀, tá a bá níbi kan bẹ̀ tá à ń sùn, àní máa ní wàhálà pa à ń sanwó rẹ̀.
Their property is not your property.
Really?
Ọdún mo sọ fún ẹ láti ní. It's not your property.
Okay.
And as far as not your property, even if you want me to do anything, it's not that you be claiming that.
I'm not claiming, I am explaining.
As I was saying it.
Inú wàhálà ni mo wà, inú ìbànújẹ́ ni mo wà. Inú wàhálà.
Náà láti sọ pé ká gbàdúrà kò fẹ́ tí ò ní problem everybody náà.
Eléyìí kò yẹ ká máa nírú problem yìí. Kò yẹ ká máa nírú problem yìí and it is not a good way to live. This is another year tó tún parí. Complain àti ń complain látijọ́ iná là ń complain.
Complain wo lẹ ti ń complain pé Olukoya ò gbalé fún yín àbí.
Ọ̀rọ̀ Olukoya ò gbalé fún wa kọ́ ni mò ń bá yín sọ. Pé a máa san owó ilé asán àtúnṣe tó máa wáwó wọ́n á tún dà wá síta wọ́n á tún ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ tí kò ń ṣe pé a ní property.
Foundation ló ní wàhálà ṣètò kálukú ló mọ bó ṣe manage rẹ̀.
Foundation
ẹ tó bá gbalé ní ìsìnkú mọ bóun ṣe máa ṣe sanwó léhùn tí tó bá ìfàyà.
Nǹkan tèmi ń sọ fún yín ni pé I'm not even in the position to rent a house.
You are not in the mood to rent a house.
I'm not in the position to rent a house. Nǹkan tí mi ṣàfẹ́ sọ fún yín ni pé ẹ má gbàgbé nǹkan tí mo bá yín sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ ṣáà máa fi mí sọ́kàn kó má yẹ pé òkú èmi àtọmọ mi náà máa gbé wá bá yín ẹ fi wá sọ́kàn.
Kí ló sọ mi gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ.
Mo ní pé nǹkan tí mo ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín pé ẹ fi wá sọ́kàn because bí mo ṣe wà yìí mi ò wá òkè kó má yẹ pé nǹkan míì ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi láì dá. Ẹ fi wá sọ́kàn torí mi ò níbi tí mo lè wà ojú títì lèmi àtọmọ mi wà mi ò níbi tí mo lè wà.
Ìṣe kó máa fokùn fún ẹnìyẹn lọ́rùn
mi ò fokùn fún yín náà mo kàn ní kí n rán yín létí bí mo ṣe wà yìí ń sìn I don't have anywhere to stay.
If you want somebody to help you, ìṣe kó máa ṣe òògùn.
You are not somebody, you are my mother, you are my mom, you are not just anybody. You are the person I can open my heart to.
You are supposed to give me.
When I don't have.
You don't have. And I too, I'm trying my own best.
But the one that belongs to all of us, that belongs to 5 of us, only you sat down on it because of Olukoya.
Okay, it doesn't belong to you.
It belongs to all of us. It belongs to all of us. It belongs to all of us.
Ó sì o, àwa ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ̀ ní ṣẹ́yìn náà ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ̀.
No, àtọ́kọ́ tẹ fún wa nílé ibi tá a fẹ́ gbé. Ẹ̀yin àtọ́kọ́kọ́ wo ọkọ tẹ sílẹ̀ kó tó kú tó yẹ pé ìrònú ló kú dànù. Ẹ wo mọ́mì, ó dàbọ̀. Hello ma. Hello ma.
Màá fẹ́ kí ẹ sọ ní òun sọ pé kò yẹ ká wà báyìí. Iye tẹ́ ẹ bá jẹ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ara yín jọ ẹ sọ fún mi. Mo fẹ́ hò mítìn pẹ̀lú yín.
Èmi ò mọ bí tẹ́nibọ̀dì wà. Àwọn ọmọ yín ni wọ́n mo lè sẹ́ni nọ́mbà wọn sí yín kẹ́ pè wọ́n.
Wọ́n ní kó pè wọ́n.
Pé kí ni?
Ìwọ́n tí wọ́n bá jẹ́. Pè wọ́n ìjọ tẹ bá máa wá rí mi kẹjọ́ kí n mọ̀. Because you have to see ourselves together to talk.
Kò sí nǹkan kan tá a fẹ́ sọ nǹkan tí mò ń sọ fún yín náà làwọn náà ń sọ.
Ó yẹ kán wà ń jókòó torí mi ò lè ṣe mítìn lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta tàbí lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́rin. Let all of you sit down. Let me tell you what I meant so that we can understand each other.
Ẹ̀yin náà ti mọ̀ pé kò possible ẹ ti dàárín wa rú kò sí kankan tó ń gbé kọ́ọ̀lù ẹnìkankan nú wa tẹ bá pè wọ́n fúnra yín ẹ̀yin lẹ bí wọn tẹ bá pè wọ́n wọ́n á dá yín lóhùn. Tẹ́ bá pè wọ́n, tẹ́ bá ní nọ́mbà wọn, màá send nọ́mbà wọn sí yín kẹ́ pè wọ́n.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
In Yoruba, they will say "Bami fi sọ́wọ́ sí." I want you guys, you see that video I just played for you, I want you guys to hold it because we're going to address this. We're going to address it with the fact that conveniently, when this Mr. Isaac died, he willed all his properties to MFM. We're going to address it constructively tomorrow. We're going to analyze it very, very well tomorrow because there are some things we need to see that really doesn't make sense. But I just needed to bring that to our attention. Sure you get. Thank you. Now, where was I? Now, okay. Now, the wife, Sister Toro Duro Jaye, now left MFM and now she attends Samson Bayon's church, the New General Assembly, the New Testament Assembly, Mobino. Yeah. Olukoya, what you did not tell the whole world was that when you were in CAC, that same church, you were preaching the tenth of the young against the old. That was what you were doing. You were preaching the tenth of the young followers against the elders of the church that prompted them to write to CAC. That CAC should provide them an ordained pastor as you were becoming unruly. Sure you know. Now, there's a need for people to understand who you were from the very beginning of this Christendom. Only when they understand how the past went would they be able to understand who you are now and why you do the things you do today. This is not your first rodeo. Bomumbo. Now, a bona fide appointee was waited for, and as a countermeasure, you, Daniel Olukoya, according to reliable sources. Now, all these things I'm saying, I've made research, I've called people, I've reached out to people, I've traveled to meet people to write their testimonies down. Not just one, not two, not three, not four people. Affirm this fact. So if you want to drag all of us to court, bring out your certificate of ordination. All right. Now, while they were waiting for the CAC to provide their ordination, you, sir, informed all the vibrant men in the church that the pastor they were going to bring is not only an adulterer, but that the person was suspended for 6 months and was only waiting for the expiration of his suspension. And you instigated the youth to reject the pastor even before the pastor came. Now, coincidentally, before this, the church had a meeting every Thursday at Yaba Road called the School of Prayer. This School of Prayer held for 2 hours. And you stopped attending the church. And then you started doing your fellowship in your house. The same fellowship now that they then brought up and said you started the fellowship in your house. Conveniently, you guys cut off what led you to start the fellowship in your house. You guys cut off what led you to start the fellowship, but painted it as if you started the fellowship in your house because you were led by the Spirit to do so. Now, these things I'm telling you are eyewitnesses' testimony of you. Not one, not two, not three. If I'm not even Mrs. Fuki Asheku. Of people that actually started this whole thing together. They know you very well. They know your dossier. And that's why most of them, they just look. Oh, need sorrow. And I wish CAC has shown you Shege from the beginning. Point to the CAC that ordained you. The house where you guys used to keep your organs, your musical instruments, the Niyi Ajayi that died, his house. The story that surrounds the sister too, Owambe. Because a lot of people just think that you started these evil atrocities today. No, you have a history of being evil. And if I'm lying, drag me to court. Baba, you know, say me, I know they fear court. I've told you guys. I've even provided email. Serve your lawsuit there. I will open another email for you guys. Go and put it there. Let us go to court. If I'm lying point at one thing I've lied about. If I'm lying, let's go to court. You know, say me, any to ba lebole lo man beru court. Let us drag ourselves to court. Me, I know they fear court too. Mbano. All these things I've said, if I've lied about one, point at it. Let us ask the British Embassy to provide your entry and exit stamp. Since the time you have been going to England and coming back. Is it a coincidence that your favorite place, your wife's favorite place of visit, where she's staying is always England? Is it a coincidence? Is it? Is it? Of course it's not. You have a history. And that's the thing. So when you guys started the biography that you you started your church in your bedroom. You started your church in your house. Which house? You mean the same house that Niyi died in? Àfáà sọ̀rọ̀ òjò kù ni. Ó ná Ọlọ́run jẹ́rìí sọ̀rọ̀ òun. Where did I stop, my good people? See, there's a need for us to understand. See, there is something about history. In history, holds the key and the answers to everything that looks hidden and looks difficult in the present. To be able to understand the present, sometimes there's a need to go back in the past. For it is in the past that the answer lies. When you look at Olukoya, for those of us that have seen him for what he is now, you wonder, how did somebody become so evil? How did he create this tentacle? Go back in the past. There, conveniently, lies the answer. Go back in the past. That's how it works. Even, see, when you want to read about all this cult group in our modern day society, all this ancient cult group, if you want to understand how they became a menace in the society, go back into the time of their inception. And you will find the answers. For those of us that read history, that derives pleasure in understanding history, you would understand what I'm saying. So it was important for me to really understand what made this boy so evil. And it was there. Now I'm coming now. Now, Bumo stops, Yes. The people from the church, the same one that you have scattered in that CST, some of them started coming to your house and they continued the prayers and joined you in the fellowship in your house. From a population of 1, it became 24, it became 26. Was that not what you said in your biography? Now, your fellowship was then moved. Oh, God, okay. Your fellowship was then moved from the old, was moved to the old Yaba Road, the same place where you guys had the school of prayer. You know, when they talked about moving his fellowship from when there was no place to contain them and they had to move it to the school of prayer, what Olukoya skipped, or what conveniently you people did not tell the world, was that you already had a fellowship called the school of prayer. What you did not tell the world was that conveniently, before this whole thing started, you guys had a school of prayer you were running, a fellowship. Because tabanta kamato tabato maderonidi. There's a need to be able to break things apart, to understand where each screw goes, so that you can understand how the whole system works. Now, where did I stop? The same school of prayer was used on Thursday. That was when you people had your fellowship. You always did your school of prayer on Thursday. And unfortunately for you, the same venue was used by another church on Sunday. Hence, there was a need to push your Sunday service timeline from 10 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. That was what began your time frame for MFM. Is it not? Is it not? Now, around that time, before, you had already given the CAC Makoko your keyboard. You gave the church your keyboard to use, but you went back to collect the keyboard. And because of that singular action, the church struggled without a keyboard for a while before they could afford it. Did you tell the whole world that you gave the church a gift and you went back to collect it? Did you tell the whole world? For the elders that are still alive, that knows this story, can you tell them to their face that you do not go back and collect your keyboard? Okay, good. Because people need to understand you for what you are and who you are. And then you guys moved to Olasumbo. Abi? No, the church moved to Olasumbo. Yeah. The first name of your church was Christ Apostolic Model Assembly. That was the name of the group that met on Sunday at Yaba. And they had 3 leadership groups. Now, one of the members of the leadership group was Pastor Oladapo. You guys were together. The same one whose wife then ran mad. And his property was burnt in the middle of the night. And the first person who showed up to greet them in that middle of the night was you. And coincidentally, the circumstances surrounding that man's death was very suspicious. This is not the first time that they have been having funny circumstances surrounding people's deaths that are around you. These are like early years. So now you had Olukoya, Daniel Kolawole Olukoya, Pastor Oluwatosin, formerly known as Oruntosin, Pastor Gbeson Adebambo, Pastor Shegun Jegede, Jide Thompson, to mention a few. You know what I'm talking about. If I have lied about anything, bring your lawsuit. Now, all these elders from the Model Assembly transitioned into MFM. Why? Olukoya, can you please tell the whole world the circumstances that led to Christ Apostolic Model Assembly transitioning into MFM? Because today, if the whole world can understand the reason why you people changed the name of the church from Christ Apostolic Model Assembly to Mountain of Fire Miracle Ministries, maybe they will understand the reason why Khan looks at you and don't say anything. And I don't know why people never asked you. Can you tell them? Tell your church members the reason why you changed the name of the church from Christ Apostolic Model Assembly to Mountain of Fire Miracle Ministries. Mountain of Fire Miracle Ministries. Tell them. Tell them. If you don't tell them, I will. It was because CAC confronted you and told you that if you are going to bear their name, then you have to abide by their rules and their doctrines, which you refused to. And one of their rules is that if you're going to open a church under their name, they will give the church, they will ordain the pastor, they would select the pastor, and they will bring the pastor. And you refused. You know where my email is. You know where Mrs. Foke Ashekun is. Send the email there. In fact, I will provide another email. Send the lawsuit there. Was that not why you changed the name? See, only ọmọ tí ò bá bá tàn á bá àrọ́bá ní bàbá ìtàn. If you want to destroy, I keep saying this thing, if you want to destroy a nation, take away from them history, and you have won. And this history is what you have kept hidden, because if they should know the truth, they would have understood that your church was formed under turmoil. It was formed under discord. The Bible says do not remove the ancient landmark. You have removed the ancient landmark from the beginning. Your church was always created due to disputes, fights, discords, and every single strange circumstances. And for that reason, all you do is do everything within your power to make your church afloat, because it has always been about you. It's never started because of God. The circumstances surrounding your church does not look to me or present itself to me as something that God has ordained. God said on this mountain, on this rock I will build my church, and the gate of hell shall not prevail. If people are looking for the gate of hell, they should not look too far. They are staring at it. You are the gate of hell. You are the one that came to the body of Christ to make a mockery of God's name. The truth lies in the history of how your church was founded. But now, your church had no known record, because they already knew how you people left your Makoko church. So they knew that you people were like, So there was a need to say, if you're going to bear our name, you have to abide by our rules, which you guys refused. Alright? So you removed the CAC and you changed it to Model Assembly. And from Model Assembly, it became Mountain of Fire Miracle Ministries. So from CAC, it became Model Assembly. You removed the CAC because CAC would never allow you to use their name. So is it a coincidence that after all these years now, you remember your church in Ondo? You spent the bulk of your life in Lagos State. How is it convenient that you now went to go and buy them organ in Ondo? It's Ondo. Sherry, one unique thing about you is that you're like a scurry rat. But if somebody can actually take their time to connect the dots, they will see you for what you are. But did you also tell them that this Model Assembly was interdenominational? You guys had Sunday service, Monday service, Sunday service, and interdenominational service, which had members from different churches, including Celestial Church of Christ. And the bulk of your church members came from Gospel Faith Mission. For those of us that knows the church, Gospel Faith Mission, the bulk of your church members were from there. In fact, your choir members, the bulk of them were from Gospel Faith Mission. Did you tell the whole world that? Did you tell the whole world that? Did you? Did you, Daniel Olukoya, did you tell the whole world that truth? And most importantly, did you tell the whole world no, not even that. Something struck me as odd about you concerning your mother's burial. You know, for a Christian, you know that there is this, when they want to do burial for Christians, there's something called wake keeping. They will do wake keep, and when it's time for burial, they will feru, they will yekpe, they will do ashes to ashes, they will pour sand on everybody's face. Now it looks like you guys did a gigantic burial service for your mom. My condolences anyways. But is it a coincidence that there is no picture of where you were pouring sand on your mom's face in circulation? There is none in public. For someone who did a gigantic burial party, gigantic burial service, you know, there was all these people came to, even that Babiodu came to, right? And you know, people did all these things. How come coincidentally for your mom that's lying in state, there's no picture of you pouring sand on your mom's face? And if it then be that your father and your mother have been divorced when you were young, let me throw bomb into your life. Can you tell the world who your mom married after your mother left your father? Daniel Olukoya. If you can answer this question, I swear to God, that's it, I'll stop. Can you tell the world, and you answer it honestly and truthfully, your mom and your dad left each other since early age, and the writings were on the wall from when you were always telling all those funny stories? In your stories, sometimes you put the element of truth. Your mom is from Ondo. And that's why sometimes you say somewhere in the southern part of Nigeria. You were always afraid to mention the location, because the moment you mention the location, your car will fall. Because it will point to something that you don't want them to see. So, can you tell them in sincerity, if your father and your mother were separated since the time you were young, did your mother remarry? And if she did, what religion did your mother marry into? For those of us that know that story of what I just said, you should know where I'm going. Because there's something funny about the biography of your mother that you people read when she died that made me laugh. So can you tell the world, when your father and your mother separated, did she remarry? Question 1. If she remarried, the husband she married to, what was his religion? Because there's a need for people to ask you that question and ask you why. For those that know the sincere answer, but they should know what I meant by that question I just asked you. What religion did your mother marry into for the second marriage, if she remarried? What religion did she marry into? There's a need to ask you that question. And if yes, did that man attend your mother's burial? People should ask you. See, you people don't understand that Olukoya is hiding a lot of things. If your mother remarried, what religion was her second husband? Of what religion was he? And 3, did that man attend the burial? That's all I have for today. I hope I have not dropped too much bomb for those all. And Olukoya, you know, say Gidigbo Shile Kwenibani Kokoroni. You know where you served Mrs. Funke the last time we want to serve a lawsuit. So this one now, I want you to find your legal team. They should sit down and listen to everything I've said. If there's any way you people can now sue, you know what to do. So please, you know where you're going to serve. You know where to bring your lawsuit. I'm waiting. I love you so much. No, I don't love you. You piss me off. But I love your stupidity. You know where to serve. So now, like I said, all these things I just told you, all the life of Olukoya I just summarized for you in PDF, is based on eyewitnesses. Not 1, not 2, not 3. You don't want to believe how many places I've been to just to verify some information, how many people I've called, how many places I've traveled to, the places I've been to in Ondo to verify some information. But then, I've been on to you for a very long time, actually. So, you know what I'm talking about. So, when you're ready to file your lawsuit, please do. And we can, all of us that collated your life history, all of us can carry ourselves to court. And we can also, because there are some questions I want to ask you in discovery. Let me get it. There are some questions I want to ask you in discovery under oath that I know that the moment you lie, I can hold you. You see all this one we are still doing on social media, eh? You can steal your boro. But when I ask you in discovery, me, I'm not Mrs. Fuka Chekunda. You people go and do nonsense inside discovery. And they let me, I'll go say, I look at it, I catch you, I talk about it in court. Sure you get. So, my dear, there is something I will not stand for. Let me put it that way. I will not stand for a liar, a fraud, and a thief on a pulpit. Because why you people continuously think about yourself and make a mockery of God's name, that country, Nigeria, is becoming a shame to the world. And I'm a citizen of Nigeria, and I will not let this nonsense continue, because I understand the responsibility and the duty and the weight that's been saddled upon the shoulder of each and every Christian. And why you guys have failed to understood it, me, I understand it. And that's why I will always draw attention to it, so that the whole world can see you for the fraud you are, and they will stay clear of you. And if it is just one person I save from your hand, that's a good day for me. Do you understand? So please, people need to understand. You know that biography you people put out, I laughed that day. Hey, because I sat down, I was minding my business, and I saw that biography. I was like, imagine. And it is the same you that then told the whole world. I mean, is it your people that then told the whole world that you are the Elijah of their time? So let the Elijah of their time explain to them the reason why their Elijah left CAC, the reason why their Elijah changed the name of the church from Christ Apostolic Model Assembly to Model Assembly. Their Elijah should explain to them the reason why he went back to collect the piano. The Elijah should tell them the reason and the circumstances that surrounded the forming of MFM. The Elijah should tell them the reason why the church started in the corner of his room. The Elijah should then tell them who precisely his mother was before she died. The Elijah should tell them the reason precisely why he was cooking in a kettle. Because there's a need. See, there's a need for people to understand the reason why you're cooking in the kettle. You said your father was a police officer, and that was why you went to, for people that don't understand, I'll bring this up tomorrow. Olukoya went to give stuff to the police at a point. He went to give them cars and stuff. I think he gave them a lot of things. So the Elijah should, and part of the reasons you gave them things was because you said your father is a police officer. Your Elijah should provide a list of where your father served, if you can, and the reason why you bought that house and you turned into the bookshop, and where your mother was around that time. And your Elijah should answer to the world. When your mother and your father separated, did your mother ever remarry? If she did, tell the world, what was the religion of the man your father married, your mother married? Because it would then answer a lot of questions about the things you wrote concerning your mother's biography. You guys wrote concerning her biography when she died. You know what I'm talking about. Me, I'll not use my mouth to say it. I want people to go and find it out. In fact, I want you guys to go and find online the biography of Olukoya's mom. Everything they wrote about that woman. And ask Olukoya, did that woman ever remarry? That's all I want you to ask him. Let me ask him. Because it will answer a lot of things for us. And it will expose some things and shed light on some things. That's all I have for us today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. And I hope I don't shock you guys too much.